Welcome to Drink Wine Be Crafty. I'm Megan, and today I'm doing a earring tutorial. I purchased the earrings that I'm using at Michael's. It came in a 2-pack. We're going to start by attaching 2 pieces of cord with a lark's head knot. For this project you will need 8 pieces of cord that are 16.5 inches long. So we're going to tie on these 2 strands to start with. Once you tie your cord on, you want to pin it down to keep it from sliding around while you're trying to tie your knots. And now we're going to tie our first square knot. The square knot is going to be the primary knot that we're using in this project. So we're going to do 1 square knot, and then we'll come back and we will add on our next 2 strands. Now add another piece of cord on each side, and once you have attached the cord using a lark's head knot, you're going to do 2 square knots on this row. Again, we're going to attach a piece of cord on each side using a lark's head knot, and we are going to do 3 square knots on this row. We're going to add the last 2 cords, and this row we will be increasing for the last time, and we will have 4 square knots on this row. Now we are going to decrease. So you're going to skip the first 2 strands, and you are going to do a square knot with the next 4. We're going to do 3. So at the end you should still have the 2 on the right side remaining. So you're going to have 3 square knots on this row. On this row we're going to decrease again, so we're going to skip the first 4 strands, and then we're not going to use the last 4 strands, and we're going to have 2 square knots. And now skip 2 more, and we're going to have just 1 more square knot. This is our last square knot. So skip the next 2, and then you should have 2 on the other side that you're not using, and 1 square knot in the middle. Now that we've finished the square knots, we're going to need the cord on the back side of the earring. So just push the cord through to the other side of the earring. Now we're going to attach the cord to the earring using a double half hitch knot. So you take your first cord and go over and then just pull it through, and then you're going to do that twice with each piece of cord. So you do 1 time and you pull it as tight as you can, and then you repeat that with the same cord to do a double half hitch knot. And you're going to do that with every strand that you have, so you will have 16 double half hitch knots. The cord that I used was 16.5 inches long, and I could have done it a little bit shorter. It can be a little bit more difficult to tie the knots whenever the rope gets really short, so I like to have a little bit of the extra, room. But we will need to trim this down and fringe the bottom, and depending on the kind of cord that you're using, this could be a fairly simple process. With the cord that I'm using, it is not a simple process. You could use, again, depending on the type of rope, you could use a comb, a pet brush with fine bristles. Because my cord is a little bit more difficult, I am just going to use a pin to fringe it. My fringe ended up being about 2 inches long to 1.5 inches, and you can trim it down as you go and just get it the length that you like or the style that you like. There is no exact science to this. When you make your first cut, you really don't have to worry about it being exact. I just trim it down and get it in the general length that I want it to be, because once I do the fringe, I will trim it more. So I just clip the excess off, and yeah, don't worry about it being exact at this point, but definitely don't cut it too short. You want it to be a little bit longer versus too short, because there's no turning back once you do that. So yeah, once we do that, I am going to use a pin to fringe, and this process is a little bit tedious and it takes some time, so I'm not going to do it all on camera, but I will show you just the beginning of how I start to do my fringe. So I'm just using a pin to kind of start the process here, and it is a little bit easier if you go kind of on the side. Don't try to do it right in the middle of the cord, because it gets a little bit hung up. But yeah, so just using the pin to do a little bit at a time and make this fringe effect. And again, this cord is not really the easiest. I'm sure if you're using a different type of cord, this process may go a little bit smoother and a little bit easier, but this is the cord I had, so this is the cord I used. And we will fringe all of that and then trim it down again, and we'll have our final product. So once you have your fringe done, I already have one of my earrings made, so I am going to line up the other one and then just trim off the extra fringe that I don't need. But that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this earring project, and definitely remember to subscribe and like my channel and hit the notification bell, because I will definitely have more tutorials coming soon. See you later, guys. Bye.